want to be educated or do you want to be knowledgeable, and what's the difference? I'm not going to dwell too much into it. In African spirituality, definitely we don't need educated people, we need knowledgeable people. What is an educated person? An educated person is someone who goes to school. Through all of the schooling, you get what you are being told is the truth and nothing but the truth that you have to live by. You don't want to be told anything else. Is what I know, is what I've been told, and I know it. Then when it comes to a knowledgeable person is, we go through the education also, but what we know is, we know what we know, but we'll keep on learning. And the most important thing about knowledgeable person is we recognize wrong from right. We remain as humans. We will not let anything that we are told or being taught to change who we are. Wrong is wrong, right is right. That is being knowledgeable. An educated person will tell you, no, I know this for a fact because this book says so. Hence, we have a problem with what we call religious people. So the first thing that I want to talk about, and strangely enough, I want to use my sound effects. When I'm gonna talk about this, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna tell you the true meaning of the ANC. And the true meaning of ANC, the original ANC, was built on us as Africans staying who we are, staying humane, the way that the Europeans and firstly the Arabs came and found us in this country of ours, Africa. Let's go back to that. In the word ANC, or the abbreviation, A stands for African, N stands for national, and the C stands for Congress. I'm gonna start on the end with the Congress. Both educated people and the knowledgeable people, you will know when we talk about Congress, it's some sort of a meeting that is what do you call a meeting, a bigger meeting. N is national. So nation means a country, national means of a country. So the national in ANC means a country, national. So the word African, African means anyone with the origin from Africa. Whether you are born in the United States of America, or you are born in Russia, or you are born in Australia, or you are born in South America, in the Caribbean, and here at home, if you are an African, which in the South African racist culture that they continue to perpetuate, to say a person is black. I'm against this thing of saying people are black, white, and colored, and all of these things. People don't have color, we have origins. The origins we have is Africans, we have Arabs, we have Chinese, we have Indians, and we have the Europeans. So if we talk about origins and you believe in color, I'm going to ask colored people, if you want to use color in these origins, where do you belong? Let me continue. African means a person originating from Africa, our country. So the A in the ANC means the African is a country, national. The nation Africa has to congress together for us to go back to our originality, which I told you was, let us be the humane and peaceful people they found us to be. I start this video like that because one person who stood by that, was the most feared prisoner in Robben Island, Robert Sobukwe. Why? He was most feared not because he was most violent. He was most feared not because he used violence or anything of that sort like the Europeans. He was most feared because he was the one who stood for peaceful, humane, original Africans that we are. The first sellout of the African National Congress was with the Freedom Charter. When the Freedom Charter was, what do you call, being introduced or anything like that, Robert Sobukwe went away from the African National Congress and created and started what we call the Pan-Africanist Congress. Pan-Africanist Congress, the PAC. So why was it the most feared? I'm gonna delve into this later on into this video. The colonial borders that we are fighting against, that I'm against, is a form of law. Law in nowadays is the new age chains. I'm gonna repeat that. The chains they used to chain our ancestors and force them into slavery and force them to believe in the Bible and force them everything that was not for us. They forced us into it. They used chains and beat them, raped them, killed them. Anything that was terrible they did to them. They knew that was unsustainable. They have to change it into law. They started with, maybe there are many countless of laws that were there before, but I'm going to talk about the ones that are still today a problem. 1894 to 1895 in Berlin, they introduced borders. Let me tell you what borders are. Borders is the separation of African brothers and sisters in their minds, because in the land there's no such thing called border. You find places like Lesotho, who is inside of South Africa, Swaziland inside of South Africa, but you can't go there if you don't have a Dom pass. You will say, no, Dom pass is something of the apartheid. No. There's the word apartheid. Original apartheid is the borders. Oh, Hendrik here, Verwoerd, saw this, that in 1894 to 1895, the Berlin Conference, these people were able to differentiate and separate these Africans by a so-called term borders. And they allowed it. They were separated because of a non-existent thing called borders. So if they allow them to be separated because of borders, they can do it in South Africa. Mine is going to be on the basis of color, because we don't look alike, we don't like each other, we don't like them. We're going to call it apartheid. To me, the original apartheid, which is still there, which we still have to fight, is what we call the borders. That is the original apartheid. That is the original apartheid. And the birth of Orania runs through the very same fundamentals of borders, the very same fundamentals of apartheid. And they will lie to you and say, no, everybody is welcome there, as long as you go into this Afrikaner culture and you believe in God and all of this nonsense they're telling you about. And let me tell you something. I'm going to talk on the last part of this video about a stupid person. I call him stupid because he's a fool, Peyton McKenzie. He just open his mouth and blow hot air that doesn't make sense. He doesn't listen before he speaks. I'm gonna prove that to you. Not only about Chidima and our African brothers saying Mabahambe. That's stupid foolishness. And yet he had invested in a mine in Zimbabwe. I don't know what happened there. The question is, did he do something wrong there? And they chased him out. That's why he's angry. I don't know. And another fact is, he's half European, half African. His party is Patriotic Alliance. I'm gonna say to you, he's patriotic to his father's side more than the African side, which is European. But you're gonna get it. But the question I want you to ask him, because he went to Oranje trying to say he wanted to understand the people. Here's a question I have for him. Oranje, I'm originally from the Northern Cape in the town called the R. There are 2 routes to go to Kimberley from us. And I used to use the one, it was my favorite to go past Oranje. I always, when I pass there, see, why is this place so full of Europeans? And it's unlike any other town. Never bother to go inside there, and they give you vibes, the way they look at you like you are not welcome here. But it's fine. What I know for a fact is there were our African fathers, mothers, brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews who lived there, and they did not voluntarily want to leave. And I will tell you this fact. Ask Gayton who went there. Did he ask those people what happened to our brothers and sisters, our fathers and mothers? And I will tell you what happened. They were forcefully removed, apartheid style, with guns and everything. They were forcefully removed. And you tell us everyone is welcome. Why did they not say you can stay here provided you accept this A, Y, and Z? They knew it was not going to happen. It was not going to happen. That's why they did that. So apartheid, the original apartheid is still there, which is the colonial borders. And the Europeans are the most violent and most inhumane people you can find. I told you about what they did in Orania. You know what they did when they came to Africa. You know what they did. And they will tell you that we want peace, we don't want crime, we don't want drugs, we don't want all of these things they talk about. But guess what? The drugs they talk about is their creation. The crime they talk about is their creation. The guns that are the root of all evil, that they stole everything from us with, because we were defeating them. And they came with guns, because you can stand meters away from me and shoot me dead. But if you come face to face, we're gonna kill them. That's how powerful we were. When they forced us to be in combat, we're defeating them. They are the ones who are creating guns. So I'm gonna make this very, very short. I want you to ask you a question. If people are saying that we don't want peace, we don't want crime, we don't want violence, we don't want all of these things that come with violence, which are guns, ask yourself a question. You will say you want peace. Why do you keep on creating guns? In no African country or region, because to me Africa is a country, no African region from South Africa to Egypt, Madagascar to Cape Verde, there is no one, even the Caribbean islands who are part and parcel of North America, but those are our brothers. No one is creating guns. It is these Europeans. So why continue to manufacture these guns if you want peace? Quickly with drugs, they say, for me, number one, all drugs are legal. They are documented. They are part and parcel of government. Drugs are all illegal. All legal. You have Mendrix, you have cocaine, Turk, Unga, all of those things they say are illegal. They are as legal as medicine is. They are as legal as vaccines are, and all of these things that they are legal. Why am I saying this? Answer another question I have for you. I go into my backyard, I take grass, and I use this grass and say to people, it's something to help with hypertension. So I go to a roadblock, bags full of this grass, and when they stop me First, before I continue, if they stop someone with mandrax or cocaine, they will say the police found illegal drugs worth a street value of 2 million. How do you know the street value of those things? They're supposed to be illegal. So how do you know how much they cost? That question, I'm bringing it to my situation of the drugs. They stop me and I will use the word drug. I have bags full of my drug, a grass growing from the back of my yard. Say, why is it a drug? I call it a drug because I'm helping people with hypertension. They will ask me, does it work and everything? How much does it cost? I'm going to say, my brother is free. My friend is 5 rand. Someone else I know is 10 rand. Someone I don't know is 20 rand. So my question to you is, how much is that street value of that? Because it's an illegal thing. They won't know. Why they don't know? Because it's not documented in government. It's not their drug. It's not something that is created by them. That's why I'm saying drugs of all kind are legal. You are being fooled. For me, Sibong Senu, laws are the new age chains. When they chained our ancestors to force them to believe in Bibles, to force them to be slaves and go all over this world with the sheep. And by the way, the first Jesus our people saw was a sheep. It was a sheep called Jesus, right? They enslaved us. In the new age, enslavement of chains is the laws. They bring laws to make Africans inhumane, unpeaceful, unruly, to be something that you are not. They are controlling your mind and make you to be what they want you to be, not what you originally are. An example, they bring things like same-sex marriages. In African spirituality, there's no such thing. When you get married, I'm gonna say it in isiXhosa and Zulu or whatever. Uvusa umuzi kababa ka khulu ka khokho. Umvusa kanjani? When you get married, you do it traditionally. You must do it traditionally, 100% traditionally. There's no signing needed here and anything like that. It's gonna be registered and recognized in the ancestral realm. Now they changed that and brought these things. You must go to the Home Affairs and all of this nonsense. Hence, I'm telling you, is the new age change. Now the question is, if you bring these same-sex marriages, how is Uvusa Umzika Baba gonna happen? Uvusa Umzika Baba is bringing children into this world. Through the ancestors are the ones who decide we're gonna bring people in this marriage of yours that is registered by us. We're gonna bring these children. How are 2 women gonna give birth to children or 2 men? Bullshit. And you believe it is right. Because why are you saying it's right? Because you are educated, because they say it's law. You must follow law. Is it right or is it wrong? Does it make sense or does it make sense? In African spirituality, you can never have abortion. Abortion is something wrong. But they bring it to law. You are supposed to have abortion and you continue doing it because why? The new age changes.